Hello everyone. I was sick for the last couple of weeks. I'm doing a little bit better, so I plan to do a three-part recording to talk about some of the greatest games of my time. This recording will be focused on the M.M.O. I will always say Dark Age of Camelot has been the best M.M.O I have played. My reason for liking Dark Age of Camelot over some of the other major MMOs such as Shadowbane and EverQuest is because of the size of the world, the diversity, and the customization. Dark Age of Camelot had three factions, which they called realms. Albion was the remnants of King Arthur's kingdom. Hibernia was the realm loosely based on Irish Celtic legends with a little bit of fantasy. Midgard revolved around the Viking Norse sagas and/or legends. I never played the classes for Hibernia or Midgard. I can only speak about Albion. I played an Armsman for Albion. Armsman was a pure fighter for that realm. They could wield any weapon and wear plate mail. This included the crossbow. The ability to customize the Armsman was extensive. Dark Age of Camelot's skill system worked based on your expertise, if you'll call it that. You got points to spend into one of the many different weapons or particular defensive skill sets. So, for example, my Armsman spent into halberds and parry. Every point that I put into halberd gave me a new skill to work with. That was the diversity I'm talking about. Every class could build in many different ways using different skills. No class was the same, for the most part. This meant that you could have an Armsman who used a polearm, a two-handed sword, or even a one-handed sword with a shield. The other portion of the diversity went beyond skills. The different armor types gave a more tactical element to the game. Albion had some of the best armors for physical resistance. Plate mail could absorb up to 34% of melee and bow damage. It has weaknesses, of course, but for a physical armor, it was great. In comparison, chain and scale could only absorb up to 27%. Chain was used by Midgard, and scale was used by Hibernia. It's not a big difference, but it's still enough to where you had to plan when you went to PvP. Example, Armsmen and Paladins, being the heaviest of the fighters, used their plate mail to their advantage. It was up to Midgard and Hibernia to gang up on these classes because of the amount of damage they could take. Dark Age of Camelot is returning in the newer game called Camelot Unchained. I am hoping that what I mentioned is implemented in the new Camelot. From what I've seen so far of their reveals, it does not look like that they are keeping the same level of diversity. They are keeping the classes different, but I'm not seeing the assortment of classes, I guess you can say. I will continue to keep an eye on it and perhaps do a recording for it. For now, that's all I have in regards to Dark Age of Camelot. Thank you for listening.